Shalom, shalom. First and first, I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash. We give double honor to our apostles and elders, which are the apostles and elders, a great millstone, which have diligently done the work for many years, which feed us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And we say to you, hopeful elect on the four corners of the planet Earth, keep fighting, keep pushing, keep faith. Fight the end is in sight, man. We're seeing that 2021 is becoming it's making 2020 look like a walk in the park, man. Okay, so the times we live in now, we need to concentrate on the few prophecies we have left. Get ourselves tightened up in the spirit and prepare for the coming of Yahweh Shem Shai. And it's upon us, man. This video is going to be about the coming third world war because with Biden being in office, these things are leading up because this is prophecy. It don't matter what men want to happen. The Lord's words is what's coming to pass. Every move that Esau makes, every move these nations make, is to lead us to the coming World War III and the chipping of the known world, the part of the world, and they're really trying to chip you Israelites, man, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But the main point right now, this third world war has to happen after. It's gonna the chip must happen first, okay, and then this war is gonna take place. All right, shortly after that, but during that. So this is a news video that I found. It's about 8 minutes long. Let me get the precepts before it, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm just gonna stop it wherever the Spirit has me stop it at, and then I'll just end it there. But Russia's preparing. Russia is threatening the U.S. It says any kind of missile attack on its interests will be considered as a nuclear attack, and they'll respond accordingly. All right. So the Lord is putting that hook in the jaw. He's getting ready. He's preparing these other Edomites to go against Edomites. Okay, because the Lord is putting a controversy between these nations to let His words come to pass. Just like in the ancient world, how did the Lord deal with nations, with other nations? How did the Lord deal with His own people? By sending other nations against His people. So the same way the Lord did us is the same way He's doing Esau, all right? Which is our biblical brother, all right? So He's doing him the same way. This is the book of Ezekiel 38 and verse 4. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even in great company. And what's the modern day armor? The missile technology, the modern day weapons, the missiles, the military installations. All right, and they're gonna go into that on this video also. All right, because they're linking up with China. All right, Moab, and they're making deals and they're making weapon installations to help them fortify against Babylon. So fortification is going on right now. So the U.S. is pretty much trying to gauge what's going on with Russia and its allies, man. All right. So war is in the air. What brings world out of depression is war. All right. So we're in another depression with this pandemic. So war could definitely crack off. All right. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth all thine army and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, which is the modern day gun and different weapons like that. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, and all of them shields and helmets. All right. Let me jump down to verse 15. Let me get these precepts, and then I'm going to go ahead and start the video. And it's verse 15. It says, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts. So north country, you have Russia situated in the northern part where Israel would be located. Okay. All right. So they're going to come forth and with the weapons and different installations and their allies, and they're going to make war with Babylon. And then they're going to stop warring with themselves, and they're going to war with the Lord when He returns also. All right. And it says, therefore, it says, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, that their allies, all of them riding upon horses and great company and a mighty army, and not necessarily horses, because somebody be like, man, they ain't even riding horses these days. What do they call cars? What do they use today? Horsepower. All right. So it's symbolic. So just like a car says it's running on horsepower, but it's not technically running on horsepower. The same thing here. This is saying horses, but it's not technically running on horses. You know, some armies still use horses, but not as on a wide scale. So they're going to be using these vehicles, these battle vehicles, these battle installations. Okay, that's what's going to take place in these last days, man. That's what these prophets were seeing visions of the future, but it was made in a way that they could put it on paper back then, but it was really meant for us today, so we can break it down and go into the actual discernment of what they were seeing. This is Exodus 15:3. It says, "The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name." So the Lord uses war for his own purpose, especially on the planet Earth. But the purpose of the Lord's war is for peace. Peace for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on the planet Earth. But when it comes down to these nations, the Lord loves that. The Lord gets down on jacking these nations up in war, man. Just like Jake, you like playing video games where shooting video games, and that piques Jake, a lot of Jake's interest. Where those violent type games, those fighting games. The Lord has his games, but it's a real life game, and it's the game he uses with these heathens, man. All right. This is Revelation 16 in verse 19, and it says, "And the great city was divided into three parts, and the city of the nations fell." And it says, and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh to give upon her the cup of the wine of his fierce and his wrath. And that's what the Lord is getting ready to pour out here. And why is he pouring it out on Babylon, which is America today? Because of the blood of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American children, which was slain in this land, man. Okay, that's what was taking place. So the Lord is setting up a time where he's gonna put the blood of his fallen, and he's gonna make sure that Esau pays that back, man. All right. Let me see here. I got one more precept, and then we'll go ahead and start the video. This is Isaiah 47 in verse 1. And it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And then all the situation that took place with the riots and all that the world looked at that as a blot on Babylon. It says, verse 3, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, his name, the Holy One of Israel, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And that darkness is confusion, man. So the Lord is going to put darkness, and then he's going to fight for us, man. All right, and he's going to come and touch this place. And this is the last verse, Isaiah 47:6. "I was wroth with my people. I polluted my inheritance." The Lord took ownership of what he did. The fathers it's not like men on the earth where they run from what they do, where they don't, stand up for what they've done. The Most High does that, and he puts a stamp on it. He's not because he does what he wants, but he did that to us because we were going off. You did that to us, Esau, because you was wicked as hell, man. All right. It says, "And I was wroth with my people. I polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hands. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavy laid thy yoke." See, and then you didn't ease up, man. So the Lord's gonna jack you up. So let's go ahead and play this video and enjoy Yakim, and Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kadash, and I definitely salute whenever I stop the video. Shalom.
Russia threatens U.S. of nuclear response in case of ballistic missile attack. Russia on Wednesday warned that a low-yield U.S. ballistic missile strike would be seen as a nuclear attack by Moscow and would be responded to accordingly. Speaking at a video conference in the capital Moscow, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said a recent report by the U.S. Department of Defense on deploying low-yield submarine-launched ballistic missile warheads did not go unnoticed by Russia. She slammed the U.S. move as dangerous an element of destabilization, and a purposeful blurring between non-strategic and strategic weapons, warning that it would lead to a lower threshold and an increase in the threat of nuclear conflict. I would like to stress that any attack using a U.S. submarine-launched ballistic missile, regardless of its characteristics, will be perceived as a nuclear weapon attack. Those who want to speculate about the flexibility of the American nuclear potential should understand that according to the Russian military doctrine, such actions will be considered a foundation for retaliatory use of nuclear weapons by Russia, she said.
There's a certain strain of bacteria called Lactobacillus reuteri that will help you grow bigger balls. There was a study published in 2014 that used male Wistar rats. These rats have extremely similar reproductive systems as human men. This is why they're commonly used for studies in the reproductive system. In this study, the researcher found that when fed Lactobacillus reuteri, the group of rats
On April 24th, the U.S. Pentagon announced that the U.S. Navy had fielded the WW3 low-yield submarine-launched ballistic missile (SLBM) warhead to deter Russia's and China's nuclear power. Meanwhile, according to some recent analyses, a new China-Russia missile attack early warning system is nearing completion. It will be based on the Russian Tundra satellites and Voronezh modular ground-based radar stations set up in Chinese territory. The system will provide advanced information on potential incoming.
Okay, so what's they saying? So now they're building more installations because they're preparing for that incoming trajectory and missiles. These things are going to happen, man. The Lord has already ordained it. So all this is just building up to the time the Lord glorifies his name and when these missiles are launched in the earth, man.
Speed, time to target, and other critical information necessary for an effective interception. The integration of China and Russia's missile attack early warning systems is predicted to make China-Russia military integration and interdependence match the level of the advanced alliance relationships the United States has developed with countries such as France and the United Kingdom. On October 3, 2019, during the 16th annual meeting of the Baltai Discussion Club in Sochi, Russia, President Vladimir Putin announced that Russia was helping China to build its missile attack early warning system. Putin added that, "I don't think I will reveal a big secret here. It will become known anyway," but also acknowledged that this will fundamentally enhance the defense capability of China, because currently only the United States and Russia have such a system. Subsequently, China and Russia were reported to have signed contracts worth $60 million to develop software for the new system. Sergei Bov, the chief designer of the missile attack early warning system and the general director of the Russian Vimpel Interstate Corporation involved in the software project, later stated that cooperation with China in this area was ongoing and that we cannot provide more details since it has to do with confidential agreements. Cooperation between China and Russia in the area of strategic arms is not a big secret, but an outcome of the consistent and incremental consolidation of China-Russia's strategic alignment since the end of the Cold War. In the area of missile attack early warning systems, cooperation can be traced back to at least May 2016, when China and Russia launched a new joint regular military exercise, Aerospace Security, which took place in the Central Research Institution of the Russian Armed Forces and became the first China-Russia computer-simulated missile defense drill. The second joint drills of this type, Aerospace Security 2017, happened in Beijing in December 2017. According to China's National Defense Ministry, these drills were meant to bolster bilateral cooperation and secure strategic balance in the Asia-Pacific.
So pretty much they're linking up. The ties with Moab and Russia are linking up stronger. They're getting to the time where they know what's ahead, man. All right. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I just wanted to put this out here just to give up some more World War III updates. Lord willing, I have more whenever it does come in. So with that, I want to give all praise and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makar Dash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makar Dash. Till the next time, Shalom, Akim, Shalom.